Hey, Sugar Plums, welcome back to another life changing edition of Garden of Love. Here we share godly wisdom on family, courtship, and relationships, helping you grow in love, heal from the past, and build relationships that honor God. I'm so delighted to have you here today. I'm your host, you're welcome. Today, we are going to be focusing on courtship. Remember, everything we do on this channel, it's centered on God. Family centered on God, courtship centered on God, relationship centered on God. Everything we do here is 100% centered on God. As usual, I have what I want to share with us here with I have what I want to share with us today here in my journal. So, there is something that happened that actually inspired this video. Please watch this with keen interest. Open your heart, open your soul, open your spirits, okay? I wrote down something here and it says, give it time. Give it time. You barely know this person. Give it time. I know miracle happens. I know God is the God of impossibility possible. I know God is the God that is able to change a man's story within a twinkle of an eye. But when it comes to the issue of marriage, you need to give it time. And as we proceed, I would explain what I mean by giving it time. When it comes to the issue of marriage, it's not something you just wake up and the next day you are married. You need to slow down. You need to give it time, especially if you do not know this person to some extent. Let's continue. The Bible said in the book of Ecclesiastes 3:1 NIV translation, it says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. I want you to know that the road that leads to marriage has different phases. You see, the road that leads to a blissful marriage, it has different phases. Rushing from one phase to the next may cause issue down the road. It's because I don't want to miss out anything. That's the reason I'm literally reading out what I wrote here. The road that leads to marriage has different phases. And rushing from one phase, my voice, I don't know what's happening. Rushing from one phase to the next may cause issues down the road. I need to point this out. Knowing someone, remember I said you should give it time. Now let's explain what I actually mean by giving it time. Knowing someone before marriage is not about how long you've been together. I've seen people who go into this courtship of a thing for sometimes 2 years, 3 years, and at the end of the day, the marriage still doesn't work. I'm not trying to say if your courtship takes longer time, the marriage, it's not going to work, or if it takes shorter time, it's not going to work. That's not what I'm trying to say here. Just listen as I read what I wrote here. Knowing someone before marriage is not about how long you've been together. You can spend years with someone and barely know anything about them. And sometimes you can spend just a few months with someone and you know them as if you've been with them forever. So it is not by how long or how short you've been with this person. It is about how well you really know this person. That is what giving it time means. True knowing is measured by depth, not time. It is not measured by time. It is measured by depth. So when I say give it time, I don't mean you should spend your whole life trying to know this person. That is not what I'm trying to say. True knowing is not about how long or how short the time is, but about truly understanding who they are. So don't rush out from the first phase of getting to know someone and rushing to the stage of getting married to them. First, take your time and know this person to some extent before doing what saying I do. Don't just wake up and the next day you are getting married. You barely know this person. Even though you've been with this person for years, can you beat your chest and say, I know this person? Can you? These are questions, honest questions, brutal questions we need to ask ourselves as believers before jumping into marriage to avoid unnecessary pain and tears in the long run. Let's continue. Instead of you rushing from this phase of getting to know this and getting married to them, please maximize it because this stage is very crucial. It is a very sensitive stage that you must not joke with. If you get it wrong at this stage of getting to know this person, it would affect the union as a whole. Be very intentional about the stage. Put premarital sex aside. That is even a big capital no. Put that aside. Put unnecessary questions like, what did you eat? Have you eaten? What color of clothes did you wear to church today? Have you taken your bath? Please just pack those unnecessary questions. That is not what you should be doing at this stage. Put any form of distraction aside and focus 100% in getting to know this person. Get to truly know this person to a reasonable degree. Take the time to know this person reasonably before moving to the next phase. Don't jump to the next phase without putting in the work that is needed in this phase. This is a phase of work where you need to have difficult conversation that you don't want to have, but you need to have it. This is not the phase of butterflies in my bellies, because when you get it wrong at this stage, everything is going to go wrong. So you see this phase of getting to know someone, please don't joke with it. And remember what I said at the beginning of this video. Give it time. You barely know this person. And giving it time here, like I said, does not mean spending your whole life trying to know this person. It is you putting in the work to know this person to a reasonable degree before jumping to the next phase of yes, I do. This is where I'm just going to wrap up this video today. But please, if you didn't get anything, I'm begging you, give it time. You barely know this person. And giving it time doesn't mean you should spend your whole life trying to know this person. It is not how long or how short you've been with this person that matters. It is how you truly. It is you asking yourself and telling yourself the truth, the honest, brutal truth, if truly you know this person. Because you can be with someone for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years and still know nothing about this person. So it is not how long or how short you caught that matters. It is you being intentional and putting in the work that is needed to truly know this person. This is not a phase to joke with. This is not a phase to toil with. This is not a phase to indulge in premarital sex. This is not a phase to engage in unnecessary conversation and questions. Have you eaten? What did you eat? What's the color of your clothes? Please be serious. Be serious. And with God on your side, helping you, guiding you, leading you, I assure you, without any shadow of doubt, that if you are ready to put in the work in this stage of getting to know this person and preparing for what is ahead, which is marriage, you will not regret it. You will not in any way regret it. I can go on and on and on and on, but I honestly do not want this video to be too long. So I'm just going to wrap up this video here for today. And I want to say a very big thank you, my sugar plums, for hanging out with me today. I believe you had an amazing time because I did. Please stay fabulous, and I look forward to seeing you in my next upload. Until then, bye.